Hi, fellow Geminis. Welcome to your reading for October 2021. This is going to be for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Those are intuitively guided to the channel. Maybe you don't have Gemini in your chart, but you're just guided anyways. Welcome. Some of you may be in love with the Gemini. Remember, you'll receive messages too. So I am a Gemini Moon. And it's funny, as I was shuffling the cards, I just kind of meditate on your energy. I'm thinking Gemini, the role, who rules Gemini? Mercury. As does Virgo. Virgo is my sun, so I have Mercury in my sun and in my moon. And what is Mercury? This is like just for some of you who don't know yourself, or like, I don't know, like the little elements that maybe you don't know about yourself that you should. And that is Mercury really is the controller of the mind and the intellect, your curiosity, communication. It's been stated that in Roman mythology that Mercury was the mediator between the gods, and the mortals. Mercury. So think of that. Think of you, and you may just think back and be like, oh, I can see where elements of my life where those some time in my life where those elements definitely came in handy. You're the prankster, right? We're the prankster. Now listen, I love pranking. And it's unexpectedly. I mean, how else do you do it? The mimicker. You learn by seeing. When I was young, I'm one of those people where I can read and read and read and I don't seem to comprehend, unless I'm really drawn to it. But you put me in it, make me learn it that way. I learn very quickly, right? So the mimicker, how you learned words when you were young. You might have been someone who, look at that, just flipped right over. You might have been someone who, okay, we'll take both. Just real quick. Sam told me a story about when he was young and how, when he could start to read his mom's lips and his grandmother's lips and how they'd have conversations and he knew what they were saying and they didn't know that, right? They would spell it out, but, he could mimic. Anyways, so trust. Trust definitely wanted to come out, and gratitude. Trust and gratitude. Trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. Scorpio just got that. Gratitude. As I notice and appreciate my blessings, I open the door to more of God's gifts. Sometimes we fight against our natural things, and that might be like your curiosity, right? Like you push it back and you push it back, but it's just who you are. It's who you are. The translator, the transporter of words, communication, maybe through spoken words, written word. Okay, we'll let that truck go by. Alright, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to go ahead and let the Light Seers Tarot be the leading deck, so to speak, today. Has the leading role. I'm doing your reading at a very strange time for me. It's like Boy, it's weird, you know, when you work at home, it's like you don't know what time it is, you don't know what day it is. But it feels like it's about 7. It feels like that. Okay. We have the 5 of Swords. It's so interesting because it was at the bottom of the deck and I saw it. And so my second shuffle, you know, I tried to not make it at the bottom. But it didn't matter. Look at, I mean, it made its way back out. Now, you know, this is a difficult energy, no doubt. But it talks about, you know, realism at the same time. The 5 is asking for a change. Something needs to change. Trust in that. In this 5 of Swords, it's this energy where you're realizing like what and who is toxic to you. Truly. You know, you're learning, you know, what's holding you back, what's holding you down, whether it be yourself or other people or a combination. So, feels anxious. I'm feeling anxious in that energy. It's like, something making me feel anxious. Like I'm not even looking at the card. Maybe that's a blindfold. I just realized maybe it's not a good thing. You know, for someone, I feel like there's someone around you where it's like when their life is in doom, your life is in doom. Now, I don't feel this as a child. Like, I don't feel like it's your responsibility, so to speak. You know, I feel like there's someone who wants the spotlight on them all the time. And, you know, that only goes so far. Now, I don't feel like that's you. I feel like that's what's around you. We have the Strength card, card of Leo. This is inner strength. This is nothing outside of ourselves, right? This we already own. Let me bring this down. This we already own. This is about the overcoming. You know, I also feel like it's just saying, just be careful because, you know, you can get pulled into that drama, no doubt. But the Strength card is showing this, you know, this gentle little lamb. Mary had, oh, what's that song? Mary had a little lamb? Oh my God. The reason I don't remember things is I really just let my mind go. Anyway, both gentle and strong here. Something they had to come within, right? It's almost like I got to take my heart outside of it. And then we have Justice. Card of Libra. Can certainly talk about the cutting of ties. And I feel like the 5 of Swords would definitely verify that. I can talk about a divorce. You know, I feel like, you know, if it's cutting ties and there may be like, you know, maybe there is some pain associated with that. I feel like, again, in this Justice, it's like showing her like, I don't know. I feel like I've got to see the shadow part of me. And that shadow part of me is what's moving with them, moving in that energy, what's staying there, right? But there's also this light part of me, right? There's always the opposite. If it's bad, it's going to get good. You just got to, you know, do what you can do, hang in there, that type of thing. Anyway. So, you know, this could certainly relate to a divorce, cutting of ties. something's got to change though, right? That's what that 5 is saying. We're in the universal year 5. So we don't want to not look at that. And it's interesting how I did not want to look at the card because it's like I could feel that angst from it. Well, we have the 8 of Swords, self-created energy. We have the 7 of Swords. So, you know, this toxic energy also puts an element of untrustworthy energy in it. Add that to it, right? We have the Ace of Swords coming under the Strength card. That's kind of beautiful because I feel like this is you feeling you. Right? It's like when I'm being real and I'm seeing, you know, and I'm understanding that, you know, clearly there's some energy that is toxic to you in some way. Whether it be current, and it feels current. Because it feels like this is the year to change it. 8, you know, is self-realization, right? It doesn't do me any good. I can't help you undo that energy of the 8 of Swords. You have to do it. It's self-created, you know. But here's like, you know, Justice with her sword. Like, here, let me help. So anyway, you know, the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords together. I don't like that. But I feel like that's just something that maybe was. Okay. Anyways, look at this. We have the 4 of Swords. You know, I feel like some of you got to cut, you know, whether it's real ties or mental ties. Like, you got to take that sword of justice and literally cut those ties. That pull you back into that type of energy, right? Because I feel like Justice has to realize that there's those two sides, and it's that equal balance. And that's where you find your strength, right? It's not about being, listen, she is part tiger or part lion. You know, hear me roar. But yeah, she's also part lamb. Gentle and sweet. You know, but nobody's full. At the same time, 8, right? 8 speaks of a new beginning. You know, so you have 2 cards back to back that talk about a fresh start, a new beginning, a cutting of ties. Justice steps in and says it's the cutting of ties. Why? Well, because it has you over here creating this 8 of Swords energy. Just look at it. You know, all of that is just temporary fluff in a way. And what I mean by that, it's like taking twine and wrapping it around your own hands. You know what I mean? And then telling yourself, okay, well, now my hands are tied. You know what I mean? So it's self-realization, you know, and what I love about this deck is she's seeing that. You know, what I love here is they do find the balance of all energy. So very similar to the energy of Justice. Interesting. We have the Death card. This card is Scorpio. We have a lot of major arcanas out. We have Scorpios, Leos, and Libra. But anyways, this is about an end, right? This is about an ending of the closing of the door. The Death card is like final, right? Now, it doesn't always mean someone's final. It means that chapter is final. There's really nothing left to be serving you. It feels like, if anything, it's not serving you. So, you know, the Death card is the perfect card to come out right now, because here is the healing, and then here is the ability to close whatever doors need to be closed. And by the way, the Death card says, you know, when you close those doors, you open brand new doors. You open new adventures, new opportunity. And if you keep your curious mind and lead more with that, even if it gets you in trouble sometimes trouble, good trouble. Anyways, look what follows. So first of all, the death card is saying, consider a rebirth here. Consider a rebirth. Now, that can mean consider like shaking off this energy of the past because it's not serving you. You know, it just isn't. There's like leaps of growth in the wrong direction, right? It's like I'm trapping myself further and further. It's like I'm trying to get out of quicksand, but the more I move, the faster I sink, right? So I don't know, maybe I need to not move for a moment. So anyway, death card says, consider that rebirth. And then the Knight of Pentacles. And that's kind of beautiful because, you know, this is always your guardian angel's energy. And the Knight of Pentacles, I have to say, I have to tie it back to Scorpio again because it was in Scorpio's reading a lot, and you have Scorpio's major arcana here. So I know some of you are tied in some way. Doesn't have to be, you know, part of all this, but I don't know. Anyway, the Knight of Pentacles, you know, this is slow moving energy, but it's trustworthy energy. It's energy that's, you know, it takes its time on purpose. There's a purpose to its time. And sometimes that time is us, right? Because if we look at the growth from the Five of Swords, the Seven of Swords, to the Eight of Swords, you know, it's almost like I'm giving my thoughts away. I don't know. I'm so sorry. So anyway, this is something that is coming into your physical world to allow you to do something. Something that I often feel is like of your soul seed of intention. So, you know, I feel like the strength card's important, right? The new beginning in that, allowing myself to have a new beginning, allow myself to trust myself. That if something comes up against me, I don't know why I keep pulling this up. You know, I've been around the block. And that really becomes part of my collective wisdom. So I feel like when something is in front of me, I know. The Ace of Wands is like, I feel like it's your mind on fire. And I mean that in a good way. I mean your intuition on fire. Your guts on fire. It's interesting because all of a sudden I'm feeling this change in you. Like all of a sudden I'm feeling a complete change. Like now I'm feeling almost like I get it, I see it, and boom, I'm going to do something. And, you know, perhaps that's perfect energy, and I feel like, boom, here's the Knight of Pentacles responding. Let's take 4 more. I wasn't going to go this far, but why not? I'm definitely feeling called to go back into longer readings. Maybe because it's the fall, at least here. I know not everywhere, but to me it's like nestling in, right? Nestling into these readings. We have the Six of Cups. Interesting. You know, the Six of Cups, number 1, is about, it's a time in your life where, you know, if you think back, there are happy memories. Now, that doesn't have to mean your life was going great. That just means somewhere within that there was a spark of light. And these are the things that I remember. This is certainly can also be the energy of someone from the past. And when I think of them, they bring a sense of joy to me. Maybe they help calm you, right? They're not even there. I just think about them. And I get this sense of calm from it. Interesting. Because it is coming from the Knight of Pentacles. So I know whatever it is, we can trust. I feel like in no way are you not clued in. But maybe that's why it's talking about the 5 and the 7 swords first. And the need to, like, understand that you're strong enough to overcome what you need to overcome. Cutting ties again, because otherwise, you're just putting cobwebs around you. And I know that's not what you want. This J, injustice, J is like really standing out to me. Like Justin, Jennifer, Jolie, Justine. I don't know. Really standing out to me. All of a sudden the S is standing out. I'm Steve. Okay. Let me refocus. We would like 2 more cards. We have, well, hello, the 2 of Cups. So, it's interesting because I feel like someone left a comment that, they feel like I'm luring people in as it relates to love. And listen, there's even times I thought to myself, like, is that all I'm going to talk about is love? And then I started to realize that, yeah, if that's what I need to talk about, that's what I need to talk about, because that must be what's going on, right? And I can't put doubt in front of it. But I also want to say, I don't feel like there's one reading I've done where there is like this happy outcome, where there has not been hard lessons to get there. You know what I mean? Like, this to me feels like a map to get. That's what my readings feel like. It's the realization and then the map to get you to your potential of whatever that potential may be, right? So I just want to say that because I feel like this just feels so loving and romantic down here. And when I start listening to comments like that, what it does, it puts like a little seed of doubt in my mind. But I learned to come right back around. So I kind of want you to know, or anyone who's thinking that way, this is not done with the intention of falsely promising, because I feel like everywhere in every reading, it talks about the lessons and, and our energy, and it is, and we're learning, and I'm learning right along with you. The art of learning how to use energy, the art of learning, of when we are keeping ourselves stuck. So anyways, I don't want to take away from the reading, but yeah, that's just how I feel anyway, to each of their own. Okay. We have the 7 of Wands saying, Sandy, just rise above. Rise above. It's interesting because this is the art of defending oneself. But she's doing it in a very cool, calm type of way. And it's interesting because it's like she's meditating, right? She looks like she's meditating. And she's clearly focusing on what is next to it, which is the 2 of Cups. Now, her eyes are closed. So I feel like a lot of this is coming through this Ace of Swords. What else do I have? I have the Star. Wow. This is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Card of Aquarius, another major arcana. And then look at this. I have the Fool. So, for those doubting Thomases, all I can say is, all I can do is read what's in front of me. the Fool. You know, none of these cards, like the Fool doesn't show up. Just like, boom, you're the Fool. No, you've got to reach that energy, right? The Fool must have overcome, like, the previous chapter or pinnacle of life, right? And is moving forward with an open energy, right? It wants to take a leap, willing to take that leap. And maybe that's what it's all about. You got to be willing to take those leaps, right? And the Fool is. And the Fool is in no way allowing the past to affect the future or the present. The Star is about the connection to your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. Can they come true? Of course they can come true. But what are you are you going to do your part in it, right? Because the 5 and 7 and 8 of Swords is not serving you. So anyways, well, with the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. But look at that. And it's so interesting. It's like, do I want to look at the next card? But it's just like, next thing I know, I'm pulling the card. But there's the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Cups. You know, and I feel like we go from the 10 to the 5, perhaps. And that may be with the cutting of, right? This can talk about a home. This can talk about a family or relationship. All of that. I think the one thing we got to remember, though, is just because we had the 10 of Cups doesn't mean we can't have it again. It may just look different. It may be with someone different. It may be in a different way. It may be on, through a creative type path. That you just never know. Anyway, I was kind of feeling like the romantic energy down here anyways, and that's why I decided to use the Cosmic Tarot to go a level deeper. Let's give it a couple shuffles, so even though they're pre-shuffled. The only thing I just noticed the Nine of Pentacles, which I like. So some of you just talking about your pentacles. It's funny because I'm not going to see it in a minute, but yet here it is. I forget what I was going to say, though. Got a little birdie out there. Sound like an owl. No, I think, is that a dove? All right, we have the 7 of Cups coming over that 5 of Swords, so wow. That's difficult energy, no doubt. 7 of Swords is kind of chaotic. It's chaotic energy. I'm not sure what to do here. I'm not sure what to do. 5 of Swords, though, it's like that nagging, right? He feels like this bird is pecking at him, right? It's like, he's got his head, so it's nagging, right? It's a nagging type energy, and it may just be the universe nagging you, so change will happen, right? You got to find a level of trust somehow through this energy. I can see that, but I can also see that some of these trust issues come from outside yourself. So I feel like don't carry them. Anyway, we have the Moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer, your neighbor. We have the Prince of Pentacles. This can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Can be younger, can be of a younger time. He's looking a little smug there. I think some of you, like, where does my fear exist? It is in more of the not knowing, you know, maybe I realize like that I've got this is heavy energy, whatever it is for you. And then I see the Ten of Swords and also the Ten of Cups. So for some of you, it's talking about love. I get that. Um, but I feel like at the same time, it's carrying the energy of the Ten of Swords. Not just that, but the Five of Swords, Seven of Swords. It turns into the Eight of Swords. That, you know, the Eight of Swords is like stop. And the Five of Swords is change, right? This is an opportunity to stop, look, what's good, what's bad, what's working, what's not working, right? Make the changes necessary for my stability moving into that six, right? The eight is about new beginnings, much like the Fool, allowing myself, not having a fear, not thinking that all will go wrong. Instead, maybe just all will go right, right? So I feel like, you know, Death card is definitely asking that of some of you. This is the door that needs to close. Um, if you want to move out of it, and I don't know why you wouldn't. Anyway, some of you may be looking to go back home, back to an area, back to where maybe a period where really you felt happy. You have happy memories of. For some of you, there's also probably someone in there. You know what I mean? Like, perhaps a love interest. You know, whether you know or not, but, you know, Seven of Wands, you're looking right at that Two of Cups. And the Two Cups exist before even the person. So that's just telling me that, you know, those Two Cups existed before you and perhaps this person were here on Earth. We have the Four of Swords. So you have healing all around this Eight of Swords. You know, three of those swords are the swords that pierced our heart. One of those swords are of our own. And that is our mind. And think Mercury again, right? Mercury again. You know, I don't think Gemini has a hard time in Mercury retrograde because Gemini kind of is Mercury retrograde. You know what I mean? But can still easily carry the energy. You know, like it's like holding a grudge way too long. Some of it, I feel like I let it go. Someone, I feel like there's someone who, or people who are really playing a number on you. It's telling me that, you know, are they going to steal from me in the Seven of Swords? Well, that's a potential, right? It is the thief in the night, right? We have the moon, so we have the night, the thief in the night. Now, maybe they're not stealing something physical, but maybe, you know, it's like right toward that Ace of Swords. They're stealing your thoughts. Or even your ability to think clearly and feel connected. I feel, but yet at the same time, this Ace of Swords is also connected to the Six of Cups. So how interesting the Two Cups is there too. Plus your guardian angel right there. So I feel like I'm talking too much. Dang it. Excuse me. You know, I say to myself, you know, if they fall on the floor, I'm going to leave them on the floor, but then I can't. I can't. So maybe I just need to stretch. We have the Hermit, another major arcana, coming over, a Virgo, by the way. Coming over to Seven of Swords. Is this a Virgo that you can't trust? Perhaps. But I also feel like it's talking about you and your energy. You know, The Hermit is the connection, as above, so below. So to me is the star, as above, so below. If I ask, I shall receive. But be careful what you ask for, right? Are you ready for what you ask for? That type of thing. Because I feel like there needs to be this clearing, and then the death card, right? The closing of the door, it's like, boom. Like, I'm picturing this big wooden heavy door, boom, right? Locking it. And coming out the other side. Coming out the other side. So I feel like, it's a different life. It just is. How can I say it's not? It is. We have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords pointing right up to the Five of Swords. I'm so happy to see that, because that tells me that within the Six of Swords, I understand what's toxic, right? I understand that my movement is needed, that my, I explained it in Scorpio, it's like a pie, and I got to remove myself from that pie so that the circle's not complete. Therefore, it will crumble, right? Like, remove yourself from it. Six of Swords, that's exactly what you do. Six of Swords, in a lot of decks, it's depicted as someone in a boat, right? Who has six swords with them. This is almost like defeat, right? She's almost standing and the swords have fallen. Like, I'm letting the swords fall. She looks like she's pointing, right? She's pointing. Well, she's pointing through the Strength card to Justice. Maybe to this prince. This prince may be someone of an earlier time. This may be someone who's in this Six of Cups. We have the Five of Swords. Interesting, guys. So now you have the Five of Swords directly over the Four of Swords. Now surrounded by the Four of Swords. So I feel like all the healing that I need is here. Five of Swords, this card, I think, depicts it pretty nice. Here's this person lying on the ground, right? Lying there in the shape of the way the swords have fallen. Acting like those swords have pierced him or are holding him down. But truly, they're not, right? It's of his mind. He says it's true, therefore it is true, right? This can be the energy of, I hate to say self-pity, but I think what I mean is, listen, this is just the energy of, listen, I may say I'm tied down, but the truth of the truth is I'm not. There's the Two Cups again. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Prince of Swords. That's a perfect energy of learning the art of communication, right? And, I feel like some of you may have found yourself like working from home, and now that you work from home, it's almost like this energy that's here, you may be thinking, hoping, dreaming of a happier time, even of someone, maybe not someone in particular, but just I don't know. I feel like this is when you felt free, and here you feel the opposite. But anyway, in that energy, because sometimes I can't help the energy I'm in, right? I'm almost like my hands could be tied. Maybe I don't have the finances. The Eight of Pentacles says, well, maybe when you were home, you got busy and you created the Eight of Pentacles. I definitely feel guided towards that energy, right? 2 8s, 88. So interesting. What did I just hear about 88? Wow. And I was going to write it down. I knew I should have. Because here it is. And it was just like not long before your reading. Okay, well, let's keep going. We have the Magician. Wow, we have the Ten of Pentacles coming over this Two of Cups. And then, I don't know, guys, then you have the Two of Cups. You know, we have the Ten of Cups here. And I feel like at one time, I gave this Ten of Cups because the Ten of Swords is here too. It's almost like you submitted to that energy probably too long. So I feel like maybe you had the Ten of Cups here, or your idea of the Ten of Cups at that time here. But there's something, right? There's something, and I'm going to leave it to each individual. I feel like, again, it's like if you don't, if this doesn't happen, then how can this happen? Because they're such complete different energies. They just are. So anyways, so maybe I lose this Ten of Cups, right? Maybe I think it's the end of the world. But truth be told, maybe what's coming is even better. First of all, I have Two of Cups, two of them, right here. And both of them connected to the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you connected to this Eight of Pentacles. This could be the energy of finding soulmate energy. You know, it can be soulmates that you collaborate with, that you respect, your soul family. Here, here. And along that journey, that path, you just may find. Well, I mean, I have no doubt that who's ever in these Twos of Cups will find each other. I feel like for a lot of you, it's almost like someone who's in your mind. At the same time, though, I see the importance of you in building your foundation, the cutting. Look how you have to cut all these ties first, right? You have to have the realization of the Hermit. You have to be the Fool, right? You have to believe that your dreams can come true. You have to trust. You have to have gratitude for what you do have, right? Healing is everywhere, but so is the Two of Cups. So I lose that Ten of Cups, but I gain this Ten of Pentacles with the Two of Cups surrounding it. The Knight of Pentacles bringing it in through the Magician. I know you had a part in this. Here you are. It's the creation of. Naturally, the Fool takes a step to the Magician. So, it's just, you know, to me, it's like, here it is. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I feel like these princes are, you know, the Prince of Pentacles, the Prince of Swords here. But I have the Hermit. I have all kinds of people. I feel like you know who's of the past and who's the potential of the future. Like, I feel like you'll just know that. Okay. I don't know. Is there anything else that wants to come out? We have the Hierophant, card of Taurus. And then we have the Four of Pentacles coming out this way. Hierophant's looking back. A 5 again. Change. This is about your belief system, your faith, your higher being. This is a higher type energy. And I feel like some of you are being called back. Now, Death card said closed doors. Well, I think you do close doors. Doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean every door is closed. Doesn't mean something can't be recreated. I don't feel like this energy is recreated. I can't say it's not. But just doesn't feel like it's any part of it. I feel like this is definitely some of you feeling like you're thinking of moving, like, I feel like back home. Well, I feel like you can make your dreams come true. That's what I feel like. I feel like you can make your dreams come true. I don't make your dreams come true, right? Your guides don't make your dreams come true. You make your dreams come true. It's your intention, and you're really the best at it. You just got to realize that. You got to realize who you are, who you're ruled by. Mercury, right? The mediator between the gods and the people. So I guess it does kind of call for a higher type energy. Um, but maybe you have to have the experience. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm thinking like a pope. And I'm thinking about, I know not every pope, but I don't know what's making me think is like those who have lived, in meaner conditions with little. Sure, am I talking popes? I don't know. But anyway, because I feel like there's a great rise from that. But maybe I wouldn't be anything if I didn't have this, right? This is what, when I put it all in one basket, allows me to see, to understand, to grow, to untie myself, to cut ties, to accept, accept challenges, not run from them. The fool, I'm going to take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith. Some of you definitely feel like you're moving, like it's what you want. I feel like this is the time to take the leap. Let's just say within 2021. Now you take it whenever you're comfortable, but I feel like this is giving us somewhat of a measure of time. So I don't know. All I'm going to say is I feel like the potential of, I feel like I thought I had the 5 or the 10 of cups. Maybe I did have the 10 of cups. Again, can be talking about your family. It can also be talking about love. It is a love, but different types of love. The comedian talking about some of you feeling stuck to like the family business, that type of thing, and it's not what you want. I kind of feel like I'm stuck because maybe I have a love, but it's not what I want. So, difficult, right? You got to free yourself from that. I feel like your intuition's on fire. But holy shit, there's a lot of cobwebs to get through first. I don't feel like this is all of you. Some of you have been through this, so you know what I mean. This is the time where your comments to help those who are kind of in that see the other side of it, because different perspectives, right? Anyways, I'm going to let that be. Let's read trust. You ask this question because you desire reassurance that everything is going to be okay. This card asks you to trust that indeed it will be. By relaxing with faith and trusting in God's infinite intelligence, you open the doorway to the answers to your prayers. In this way, you are more receptive to hearing heavenly guidance, which gives you intuitive instructions about which action steps to take. As you take them, you bring about divine results. This card promises you a favorable resolution to your current situation, even if it differs from your expectations. Mother Mary lovingly asks you to step out of the way so that God's handiwork has room to enter. Surrender any fears, worries, or desires to control the outcome. Trust in God's wisdom and love. Okay. Gratitude. Grab a drink real quick. God is generous and loving and desires the very best for you and all of his beloved children. If you've been feeling forsaken or forgotten, this card reminds you of the magical power of gratitude. No matter what the current situation may be, there is always something to be grateful for. Take one moment now to review your blessings, including being alive, the sunrise and sunset, birds singing, and so forth. As your heart warms with gratitude for all that you currently have, you open yourself to receive more. Today, practice saying thank you repeatedly, out loud and silently. These words are the keys that open the door to happiness, abundance, and fulfillment. Wow. There's the key. There's the key. Made me think of the Five of Pentacles in this deck, in one of these decks, and how she's sitting there with her head down, but there's a key lying on the floor right next to the door that has the lock right there, so she could free herself. Anyway, I'm going to let that be. I feel like this was long. I love you guys. A lot of twists and turns in here, but I feel like this is the energy of trusting yourself beyond all. Allowing yourself to become the fold, to heal. Understand, sometimes we have a lot of regret, or we take things, we take them so personally, right? But sometimes it's just the way people are. We got to take who we are as just as important. So anyway, I feel like this is a trip to get you to your ultimate outcome. My hope is that you get there and you find it. I think you will. So, I love you. I will see you at the table next time. Bye-bye.